Welcome in the fifth section of our course. In this section, we'll be focusing on the very important aspects of designing applications. So, those concepts will relate to both REST endpoints and also to MVC. In this section, we'll be securing your application with Spring Security. First step that we will do is to add web security configuration to protect private endpoints. Next field that we will need to do is to see how to expose static content securely. First topic will be to test that using MVC security context. Once we will know that, we will be looking more at the MVC security. So we'll see how to protect your MVC endpoints using proper configuration. Final step will be to perform security tests on your application. This is a first video in which we'll be adding web security configuration to protect private endpoints. The first thing that we will do is to create Spring Security Web Application Config. This class will be responsible for configuring. Next step will be to protect secret endpoints. Final step will be to allow other endpoints. So our configuration should work only for the subset of the endpoints. So some endpoints should be private, some should be public. But firstly, let's see the simple and more often security flow in our application. So we have a user that is want to access our website. So when the user accesses that website and we can see that there is no session associated with that user, we are generating new session and the Spring Security is starting its flow. Looking at the session ID, if the user is authenticated or not. If it is authenticated, the homepage of our website will be returned to that user or other page if he wants to navigate to it. If the user is not authenticated, we'll go to the login page, and the login page is the thing where the user can put his login and password. If the authentication fails, we are redirecting back to the login page. If it's okay, we can validate against database. If the credentials are correct, then user is authenticated, you are able to return the home page back again. So here's our application and let's create a web security configuration. So it will be under the infrastructure. Let's try to find it. We can see that under infrastructure we have a secret controller. So this is a controller that is exposing endpoints that's supposed to be secret, should not be seen in the outside world. So we are creating REST controller and we are creating request mapping and it should map to the secret endpoint. So it should return something if it is allowance, otherwise not. And we are just returning payment repository count. So we are counting how many payments we have in our database. Next step is to create our thing that is a Spring Security Web App configuration. So we need to add to annotation. That is the first step. When this class is annotated with that, Spring will take that class via the annotation scan and it will use it as a configuration. We're specifying this is a configuration and we need to extend Web Security Configurer adapter. So this is a class that gives us things that we can override, methods that we can override with some custom behavior. So at the beginning, we are specifying that HTTP security should have something, and this is absolute URL. So firstly, we are specifying requests that should be authorized. So everything that is under that ant matcher, so reactive /*, it means that everything under reactive prefix. Then MVC prefix, payment at topic application, everything here should be permitted. So we are permitting everything that is under those prefixes. Then there is next step. So everything that is under reactive, same prefixes, but this time from the post endpoint, we're also permitting it. We need to specify both things separately, get and post. Next thing, we are permitting it. Next, we are specifying that CSRF should be disabled. We will get back to it, and also the course should be disabled. So we're disabling two things that should not be disabled, but we are doing it for the learning purpose. Next, we are authorizing all requests, but for one thing that is the final one, we are matching the secret endpoint, and that request to this endpoint should be denied. So we are denying everything that goes to this secret. So let's start our application and see what will happen if we will go to this secret endpoint. Our application started, let's go. So we'll go to the secret. But let's open the web browser tools to see a network. And we can see that we get a 403. So it means that our request was forbidden. So we're not able to access this resource. So the security works as expected.